Hi guys, in this class we will discuss about these three logical operator. So using MySQLi extension in PHP, we will work on these operators to retrieve data, to retrieve record from database table. You know that in the previous classes we have discussed different topics, but in this class we have discussed about and or and not operator. So first of all, select all the fields. Static means all the fields from this table. Table name you have to mention. Where class if column name 1 value is this one and column 2 value is this one. If both are true or both value are existed in database, then result should be displayed. Record should be retrieved from table and displayed to user. For example, select all from this table. You know that our table is my_std, where student marks equal to 10 and student id is 1. If student which have id 1 and its marks is 10, so this record should be displayed to user. For example, student id is 2 and marks is equal to 10, then it will not retrieve from the database table. For example, student id is 1 and marks is 20. This record should not be retrieved from the database. So if both are true, id should be equal to 1 and marks should be equal to 10, then this record should be retrieved from table. For example, another example is select all the fields from table where column 1 is equal to value. It means that column 1 value is this value or column 2 value is this value, then result should be displayed to the user from table. For example, in this case, if any one is true, any one value is existed or present in that field, then result should be displayed to user. For example, in case its value is 10, this is a marks and this is id 1, this is id, column name is id, column name is marks. In this case, if id is 1 and marks is equal to 10, then result should be displayed to user. For example, if id is 1 and marks is equal to 20, then it also work. It also retrieve this data from the database, because on the basis of 1 it will retrieve record from the table. So OR operator means that if any one is true, it will retrieve data from the database. But in case of AND, if both are true, then data will be retrieved from the database. Same example. So you can see that std marks equal to 10, std id is 1. Any one is true, then result will be retrieved from the table and displayed to user. Practically, we will discuss each and everything. Clear your concept. Now, another is using not operator. Select all the fields from table. Table name you have to mention here, and where column name, for example, column name is student id, student marks, that value not in. So you have to mention here values. These values should be taken from that column. So it will display all the record in which these value should not be present. So for example, select all the fields from my_std table where student id not in this range. So you have to provide a range of id or range of value for this column. It will display all the record from the database table, but it will not mention that record which have id 1, 2, 3. Practically, we understand these theories in Visual Studio Code. In a Visual Studio Code, creating a new file and save this file, logical operators.php. Copy this source code and paste here, and then remove this one. Now what we have to do, we have to run a query. This should be same. I do not want to remove this one. Now change just query where up to where. So select all field from this table where, for example, std id equal to equal to 10, and here I am using AND operator, and std marks equal to 100. So it means that student which have 11 id and its marks equal to 100, then that row should be displayed. You know that this is a id. It means that only one student maybe which have id of 11, because this is a primary key. So 11 which have 100 marks, that record should be displayed. For example, I want to show open that file, logical operators. You can see that there is no such record which id is equal to 1 and its marks should be 100. But I want to update this one to 100, then it will retrieve this record. When I refresh, you can see that Patrick is intelligent student. Patrick, you can see that Patrick record is displaying because its value is 11 and its marks is equal to 100. Now in case of another, when you mention here OR operator, so any one should be true, it will display the result. So it will work because Jaffer, its marks equal to 100, but id is not equal to 11, but it is displaying its record because I am using OR operator. In case of OR operator, if any is true, then result you will get. So you can see that in case of this record, for example Jaffer, its marks is equal to 100, but id is equal to 12, not 11, but result is displaying on the basis of this value because this value is true. So this is a working of OR operator and AND operator. Now another is a, just copy and paste here, change this into and make comment this one, also make this comment, paste here, and now I have to mention here NOT operator. Display all the student from my_std where student id not in should not be exist in this range. For example 10, 11 and 12. It will display all the student record, but it will not display all the students which have these IDs. When I refresh this one, you can see that all the records are displaying here from Faisal Jaffrey displaying, but it ignore first three records 10, 11 and 12 because I have mentioned that display all the records but don't display which have ID 10, 11 and 12. That is why it can ignore 10, 11 and 12 records. So remaining result is displaying here. So these are different queries that used logical operator and or and not operator. So from the next chapter we will discuss more operators, classes and different things related to MySQL database using MySQLi extension in PHP.